In this video, I'm going to show you how I use DNSDB, which is DomainTools passive DNS database, to find domains that had patterns in their naming schemes. We will accomplish this using regular expression queries or regex queries, and regular expressions are the industry standard way of expressing search patterns, and they can support both relatively simple or complex searches. You can see an example here in the input box. And in this campaign, we began with an original seemingly random domain and found other connected domains thanks to our guided pivots here in Iris Investigate. And this is going to allow us to spot patterns in the pivot engine. So this is a great spot to start in terms of finding patterns across the apex level domains. And you can see here that there's a pattern of beginning with 2 numbers followed by a series of alphanumeric characters, perhaps US, but sometimes not always there. And then that last 2 characters is either PS, typically it looks like, or US. And then the TLD is either CO or US. In order to see subdomain patterns, I went to the pDNS database or data panel. And what we see here are a series of observations in passive DNS that were last seen or sorted by last seen. And you can see here that there's 2 different patterns that we spot at the subdomain level. So the first one is a series of random alphanumeric characters. However, there's a specific number in between the dashes, so it goes 8, 4, 4, 4, 12, dot random, and then that apex level domain. The second pattern is a little less distinct. It is the two letters U and S followed by a series of random alphanumeric characters, and then the apex level domain. So now that we can see the 2 different patterns here, we want to probably find out others that maybe we don't know about right now, but match this pattern, so that way we can enumerate some of the infrastructure that the threat actor is using. And a good way to do that is in DNSDB Scout. This is the UI that we use to query the DNSDB database. And I have here that first one that we saw, so the pattern matching this domain, and I've plugged that in here. I'm also going to time fence it, so I'm just going to look at the last 30 days, and then I'm going to specify a record type. And just a tip here about regex queries, they can be a little intimidating to learn. I'm going to throw in our documentation into the description of this video, but being more specific is going to make these run faster. Sometimes these can be computationally intensive, so you want to be as specific as you can. And when that was executed, we found 9 results. So you can see these 9 domains here, and these are domains that we haven't necessarily seen yet, or we've maybe seen one of. And just like that, you're able to expand and understand more about the threat actor and what infrastructure they're using. And then that second pattern that they used here, again, I'm just time fencing the last 30 days and specifying A records only, found about 2,800 results. So this pattern might be a little bit more heavily used, and this is valuable information for us because we might expect to see this a little bit more. This matches the same pattern that I saw in the specific lure that was sent to me. And so again, we've now enumerated more infrastructure that the threat actor likely owns and is operating. Okay, so let's do a little bit of a recap. I demonstrated how we can use Iris Investigate here to spot patterns at the apex level domain level here in the pivot engine, as well as the subdomain level here in the pDNS data panel. And then we moved on over to DNSDB to query our passive DNS database, specifically using a regex query. This is technically a flexible search here in DNSDB Scout, and we made it as specific as we can to find more infrastructure related to the threat actor in question. So this is a great way how security orgs can stay ahead of emerging threats, reduce exposure to risk, and do so in a very efficient and quick way. So thank you and stay safe.